The Internet of Value is here, across borders, beyond banks. Welcome to the future. Welcome to Apex.
Hey my friend, in this video I'm going to show more evidence of XRP being a global stablecoin for cross-border payments and also eSDR. So that's an electronic special drawing rights of the IMF. We're going to look at these leaders, these elites, these evil people wanting to dictate our world, dictate our lives. And we're also going to look at Jeremy Lair, how many times he talks about a stablecoin, the Internet of Value, points at Brad Garlinghouse of Ripple, and so on. So I got a lot of stuff to show you guys here. So please and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and thank you so much for all the love that you guys are giving me in the comments. I do read the comments, and I do apologize that I cannot always reply to all of them, but really, thank you so much for all the love, guys. Let's get into it. So this is a panel where the evil lady, the president of the IMF, right? It used to be Christine Lagarde, and she's sitting on the panel with Jeremy Lair and all these other people. And listen to what she says here.
Stable coins are $300 billion. You would say 4 trillion here, 300 billion there. But with speed with which stable coins are expanding is actually much more rapid than what we have seen with the unbacked assets. And my third point is that we now see much more attention to regulating stable coins, regulating this world.
So right here, I just want to point out, if you look at the sign behind here, this is the IMF annual meetings, and it's with the World Bank group. So you got the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. And the World Bank has talked about XRP and Stellar, XLM, XRP and XLM being a stable coin. And the World Bank said 5 years ago that XRP and Stellar were a stable coin, but at the time they're not stable at all, and they're still not stable. So obviously they know something about XRP and Stellar that they're not telling us. So if it's stable, it means it has to be pegged to some type of currencies, a bunch of currencies, or commodities, like gold, debt instruments, or whatever, but it has to be either pegged or backed to something else's value if it wants to be stable. So just keep that in mind. If it's stable, it has to be backed or pegged to something. And you understand if you've watched my other videos on global backed stablecoins, but I'm going to show you a bunch of evidence here. Let's continue here.
Now, we have to recognize we are in early days. We had the Genius Act here in the United States. Europeans had their own approach to regulation. You have in Singapore, you have done your part. There is a lot of catch up to be done because these different regulatory frameworks get quite gel. So there is a real risk of fragmentation, but the trajectory is one.
So they already have the G20 global framework for stablecoins. So they already have the crypto regulations in place, not in place, but planned for G20. It's just a matter of implementing them. And Jeremy Lair is going to confirm that in a minute.
It's digitalization of the world of money and the clear separation between those assets that are backed, stable coins, and those that are not. And within the universe of stable coins, can I say that some stable coins are more stable than others? And we have seen this last week. International community, we are interested to see stability, regulatory environment that is fit for the future and one that delivers advantages to people.
So of course she's lying here. I just want to make sure you understand. This lady, this witch, does not give a crap. She does not give a hoot. Doesn't care at all about the people. She does not care about you and me, doesn't care about your family, my family. These people are plain evil. They do not care about people. This is not about the people. So when they say on stage like, oh, people really want digital money. Who wants digital money? It's complete BS. Nobody wants it. But the IMF and the central bankers want it because they need to fix this liquidity crisis. And under a digital environment where everything is digital, a digital society, they can see everything that we're doing, and they can control us with smart contracts, lock-ins. It's unreal. It's not good. But I just want you to know that this evil witch does not give a crap about people. She does not care. They do not care. It's actually the opposite. Hey, my friend, if you're a day trader or pro, BTCC Exchange will be a game changer for you. BTCC Exchange is one of the world's most preferred and trusted crypto exchanges for day traders and pros, tailored for high volume futures and scalping. Founded in 2011, it's the longest running platform with 0 hacks, licenses in the US, Canada, EU, and more. It's a dream for traders. Top 5 on CoinMarketCap for derivatives, unmatched liquidity, rock bottom fees, advanced order types like TWAP and iceberg orders, plus API for algo trading. They also have one of the most user-friendly copy and leverage trading platforms in the world. Join over 600,000 traders, compounding daily scalps into explosive returns. If you're not using BTCC for your day trading, you're seriously missing out. Use my BTCC referral link on the screen, in the description, or in the pinned comment, or scan the barcode on the top right of the screen for up to 11,000 USDT rewards, up to 10% bonus on your first deposit via referral link, easy $50 minimum, and 30-day trading to unlock the bonus, up to 50% off fees and VIP perks like priority support. Leverage and copy trading is risky, so only use what you can afford to lose, or seriously don't do it at all. I launched this YouTube channel to share crucial crypto insights, not to see you make reckless moves and lose your hard-earned money. Testimonials are paraphrased for clarity from real BTCC trader reviews. See description for sources. Never keep all your crypto on exchanges. Use reputable hardware wallets. Links below. Now let's get back to the video.
Businesses to decision makers. So, yes, we are moving, but therefore, there are risks, and I'm here at the IMF, we are paid to worry about risks. So let me finish with this. The biggest risk I see is actually risk of fragmentation and confusion for the consumer side. And that if we are at the front, if we are to be obsessed with one thing, it is how to minimize this particular risk.
So let's get into all of this. So Jeremy runs a company called Circle. I was just looking. So you priced your IPO this year at $31 and now trading around $132, $33 billion market cap. Good job.
Thank you.
Where does stablecoin fit in to the future of finance as the MD described it? And what is it going to be used for?
Yeah. So I think from my perspective, we're still in the very early stages of the development of this. And I think for a long time.
So here he's lying. They know that these big conferences are going to be made public. People are going to watch them and see them. So they're always going to say hypothetical. We're far ways from having this global adoption, yada, yada, yada. They'll never say XRP Ledger. They'll describe it, but they'll never say it. They'll sometimes describe Stellar without saying it. But anyway, so when he's saying we're still far away, he's lying. He's completely lying. He has to lie because he's one of the puppets for the World Economic Forum, the IMF, and the World Bank, and the elites. So he's lying.
I've advocated for this idea that we could have full reserve money. So very safe, fully reserved money, fiat money, dollars, euros, RMB, pick your currency, but fully reserved money that could be utilized on the open internet, just like we can utilize protocols on the internet for information and data and communication. So essentially imbuing in the dollar or the euro or others, the technological utility of the internet, and getting to a world where you have this ultra safe, fully reserved money.
Okay, so here he's talking about the Internet of Value, right? Without saying the Internet of Value. That's what he's describing here. He's describing the XRP Ledger and the Internet of Value, which Stellar will play a small role as well. So again, that's what he's describing without saying it. Keep that in mind. And he's also talking about how this new money, this Internet of Value, technically could be backed. It could be backed by value, by real value. If you remember if you've seen my other video about global backed stablecoin describing XRP, I might show it in the end of this video if the video's not too long.
That could effectively move at no cost with incredible velocity and speed. And that we could create an infrastructure where not only could money move as frictionlessly as data and information moves, but that you could actually begin to write contracts and intermediate that money in powerful new ways.
So they already have that, right? We already have the XRP Ledger and Stellar. They can already move at speed. So when he's saying we could, it's already there. It's already there. But again, they're always talking in hypothetical. Could, maybe, would, we'll see, we're trying, it's hypothetical. It's all BS. It's all BS. They're already there, my friend. ISO 20022 is going live here in less than 5 days, which is a Saturday. So technically, probably the 24th, we would see the effects, maybe. But ISO 20022 going live in 5 days is a very big deal. So the fact that they're saying like, oh, we could see the future, maybe, no, my friends, they're lying. I know I repeat this, but it's very important for me to keep emphasizing that's all they know how to do, these people. They have to lie. They don't have to, but in order to sit on stage with those people, he has to.
The internet itself gets upgraded to provide an economic coordination layer. We haven't actually had that. There hasn't been a way to do economic coordination on the internet. And so when I think about stablecoins today, 300 billion in circulation, credible analysts, whether it's the US Treasury Department or major global research firms, thinking that this will itself go to $4 trillion potentially over the next 5 years. So stablecoin money becoming a larger part of the electronic money supply. But I think the thing that it's not apples to apples. I think that this money will be the highest utility form of money that we've ever had. And as we enter the age of machines and of more and more of work and labor and intermediation happening with machines, we're going to need to upgrade this economic infrastructure and the monetary infrastructure to contemplate that world. And I guess when we look at it today, the USDC there's 76 billion in circulation. Now it's grown over 80% year over year. It's growing very steadily. The velocity of that money is also extraordinary. So we see sometimes well over $2 trillion a month of transactions done with USDC. And so that gives you a sense for the money stock to the money velocity. And
all right, so now we're going to listen to what he said about Brad Garling's house, about Ripple and how Ripple could help him scale. Listen to this, my friend. Just right here, sorry.
Requirements that emerge, but we have to preserve digital cash. That has to work on the open internet. It has to work interoperably with anyone, anywhere. That's how we're going to solve this problem. And I think we're really close. USDC itself.
Again, he said that we think we're really close. Again, he's lying. They're more than close. XRP already does this. RippleNet does this. They're already there. So again, he's lying.
That's how we're going to solve this problem. And I think we're really close. USDC itself we've seen over $3.5 trillion of transactions directly on the internet between counterparties. If we can improve it with more scalable blockchain technologies like Brad's company provides.
Brad Garlinghouse was literally sitting next to him when he said that. So that's why he said, if we can improve this scale with companies like Brad's company, he's referring to Ripple. Brad is sitting right next to him in this interview here.
And we can make this extremely low cost to move, and then enable individuals with digital wallets that can interact. And you can scale into the risk, right, is the way I like to think of it. But at a base layer, if you want to solve for this problem, governments have to accept that people want digital cash.
Full of crap again. People do not want digital cash. We don't want these evil governments dictating our lives like Hitler. No, we're not interested. We don't want it, Jeremy. We don't want it. Maybe you sitting with, as being a puppet, sitting with the other elites there, maybe you want it, but we don't want it. Let's make that clear. We don't want to be controlled like robots, like slaves. No, we don't want it.
That is a product that they want. And from a remittance perspective, that's critical. If you want to educate someone and say, hey, you should do this digitally, they want to know, is this as good as cash? Can someone turn it off? Can they turn it off? Is it as good as what I get when I get cash? And I think we need to answer that question definitively as a society if we want to solve this remittance problem.
So now here at the Singapore FinTech Festival, Jeremy Lair is going to tell you, he's going to confirm to the world that the G20 already has the regulations in place. Listen to this very carefully, my friends.
Given the global use of stablecoins, is it more prudent to implement a global regulatory framework or adhere to country-specific regulations?
The reality is there is a global framework. The Financial Stability Board, which is the body of the G20 central banks, finance ministries, came up with a set of recommendations for stablecoin policy, and the G20 adopted it. And now the members of the G20, their financial ministries and regulators, are taking those globally agreed upon policy standards and putting them into law. So we actually have a framework that is global that is now being put in place.
Now he just confirmed to you that literally every government of the G20 literally does whatever the FSB tells them to do. Okay, the Financial Stability Board, it's the right arm of the Bank for International Settlements. So the BIS, which is the Bank for international settlements. It's the central banks for all central banks. Their right arm is the Financial Stability Board, the FSB. And what they do is they set up the regulations and they say that they're recommendations for the country and the nation members, but it's not recommendations. They have to do it. And again, this is about global control. So he's admitting that right here, that the G20 are literally doing what the FSB told them to do.
There are, of course, local variances, whether it's banking regulation, insurance regulation, or any other type of financial regulation. There are variances, but it is a global standard. And there'll continue to be iteration on that because technology evolves, the market evolves, so there'll be continued to be iteration. And what we're now seeing, it's very interesting because USDC, for example, is widely in circulation in the world today. And so all of these regulators, they have a lot to say and they want to work to make sure that if a stablecoin like USDC is circulating in Japan or it's circulating in Hong Kong or the US or what have you, that the regulations in those markets can ultimately, you can have reciprocity. And you have this in banking regulation as well, right? There's a parent regulator and then there's another regulator that's looking over your local activity. So reciprocity is the next frontier, but the fact that so many of these stablecoin policies are based on the G20 recommendations goes a long way.
So keep in mind, he was sitting on stage earlier with the World Bank Group and the IMF. So here's a document from the World Bank Group. Shout out to Smoke Dog for this one, I think. No, Mr. Man, sorry, Mr. Man. Mr. Man XRP. Many of you have seen this. So this is a central bank digital currency for cross-border payments. This is coming from the World Bank Group right here. And he's going to tell you stable coins for cross-border payments. Okay, so these are stable coins, but they're used for cross-border. It's the same thing. Sorry about that. One of the videos started and back in there. So I talked to you about global stable coins, right? How XRP is a global stable coin. Same for Stellar. So stable coins for cross-border payments. World Bank Group. Stablecoin refers to a class of digital currencies that are relatively stable in terms of their price. Stablecoins offer instantaneous processing and security of payments as many cryptocurrencies do. They also offer stability with respect to their parity against fiat currencies. Two digital currencies that fall into this category are RippleNet's native digital currency, Ripple, XRP, and Stellar Networks' native cryptocurrency, the Stellar Lumen. Both Ripple and Stellar enable faster and more efficient cross-border payments relative to corresponding banking. However, they differ in that the former aims at improving cross-border settlement between international banks, whereas the latter, which is Stellar, aims at providing low-cost cross-border payment financial services to end users, so it's peer-to-peer, and the unbanked population. So that's why I always say that Stellar is more for peer-to-peer and small, medium enterprise, SMEs. XRP is big use case, which is pretty much the biggest one, is literally settling across central banks. So all the central banks in the world are using the public XRP ledger. They're going to use it more and more to settle cross-border. So from central bank to central bank. And this is what the World Bank document here is confirming to you. Okay, it's saying exactly what I've been trying to tell people. So that's why I always feel that Stellar, and I may be wrong on this, but I don't think I am, because the volume of central banks, the volume that central banks do obviously is way bigger than just peer-to-peer and small, medium enterprises. But that's why I always say that I personally feel, whereas XRP would maybe get about 80 to 90% of the volume of this new Internet of Value, where Stellar might get 10 to 20%. It's just a guesstimate, right? So that's why I always feel Ripple is going to be bigger than Stellar, but Stellar has a bit less supply, significantly less. I think it's maybe half supply. I'd have to check, but Stellar has less supply than XRP, and Stellar's market cap is a lot smaller right now. So now I'm just going to show you here. I've showed this in my other video, but for you guys that haven't seen this, you know how I always explain that XRP and Stellar are both a global stablecoin and a eSDR at the same time. So the electronic special drawing rights of the IMF at the same time. So right here, it talks about an eSDR being used for cross-border payments. It describes XRP and Stellar to the T. And then I'll just read this last paragraph. The value of the eSDR is based on the eSDR basket of currencies. It exists in the form of digital tokens and represents a claim on the freely usable currencies of transacting parties and can be exchanged for these currencies. The eSDR possesses banknotes characteristics. It bears a monetary value. It's protected by multiple security features, is uniquely identifiable and traceable. Its supply is controlled by the participating authorities. Its value are backed by the issuing authorities, and it is interoperable across payment systems. Central banks could make use of the eSDR by issuing what would be in effect be a universal central bank digital currency for cross-border payments. Technically, they're talking about XRP here, but they're not going to word it like that. As the value of the digital token would be determined by the IMF's SDR currency composition and weights, it would be a stable instrument with no additional volatility, trading, or investment activity, nor danger of manipulation. So here they're going to describe exactly what XRP does. To illustrate, Southeast Asian Central Bank, which already holds SDRs in their reserves, could issue eSDRs for regional cross-border payments. Foreign exchange costs could be reduced through direct settlement between central banks, as payments would move from currency A to eSDRs to currency B. Exactly what Ripple does, right? Goes from currency A to XRP to currency B, and Ripple do. Transactions would be instantaneous, peer-to-peer, round-the-clock, with enhanced transparency and data sharing. Problem posed by multiple intermediaries would be eliminated. So no need for all these intermediary banks, right? No need for SWIFT anymore. All providers could use the central bank-backed digital tokens. So this is XRP and technically Stellar. Over time, more central banks, actually it's XRP because they're talking about central banks settling through this. So this is XRP. Over time, more central banks could join, and a multilateral institution such as the IMF take over management of the SDR. My friend, listen to this very carefully. So for you guys that have seen my previous video, you've already seen this, but it's very important for me to show this again. They're saying here how the IMF could take it over. So obviously, if the IMF is taking over the management of this eSDR, it means it's not the IMF that's developing and pushing it right now. Or that's literally, this is a private company, and you're going to see that in a minute, my friend. This is crazy. So let's read that again. Over time, more central banks could join, and a multilateral institution such as the IMF could take over management of the eSDR. Okay, the IMF is taking it over. They're taking over management. Well, I thought the SDR was already under IMF management. That means they're not referring to the regular SDR here. They're referring to the new SDR, which is XRP. Because again, guys, the IMF is taking over management of it. It means it's a private company that has it right now. It's somebody else. Let's keep reading. Alternatively, the technology could be applied in different regions with another currency basket as the reference point. However, private sector issued eSDRs may hold more promise. They say may, but it's not may. They know it has to be issued by the private sector, which is XRP. However, private sector issued eSDRs may hold more promise for faster implementation of a full solution for cheaper, quicker, and more transparent cross-border payments. So they're telling you it's better if a private company creates this eSDR. It's better for a private company, private sector issued. They're talking about XRP here, my friend. May hold more promise. Private sector issued eSDR may hold more promise for faster implementation of a global solution for cheaper, quicker, and more transparent cross-border payments. An eSDR-based payment network would enable financial service providers to offer efficient, transparent, and inexpensive cross-border payments services, even for low-value and high-volume use cases. What did Ripple say? Ripple said, we're going to start with the low-value corridors first, and we're going to get that liquidity going. Then we'll move to higher volume after. This is exactly what they're saying here, going from low-value and high-volume use cases. Settlement times and costs should fall substantially, and improved compliance should enhance financial integrity. The inefficiencies of cross-border transactions must be addressed. The use of digital composite tokens, XRP, should create a product that is trusted and stable store of value, as well as an effective medium of exchange. So it must be trusted and stable store of value and an effective medium of exchange. In its ideal form, the eSDR will greatly benefit both private sector financial businesses and the authorities that supervise them. Okay, so this is coming from OMFIF, OMFIF, which is a major tank for central banks. Right here, ask Grok, tell me briefly in short, who is the OMFIF? OMFIF, Official Monetary and Financial Institutes Forum, is an independent, London-based tank, of course, It always comes from London, right? You guys really want to research the Corporation of London, the London Corporation, not the City of London, but the corporation, the London Corporation. My friend, my friend, you want to know who rules the world? Start looking into the Corporation of London. So anyway, so it's an independent think tank for central banks, independent think tank, London-based think tank for central banks, sovereign funds, and public financial institutions promoting global policy dialogue and analysis. So that's why I say XRP is a global stablecoin. It's going to be backed, but at the same time, it's the eSDR as well, the electronic special drawing rights of the IMF. This was always the agenda from the very beginning. So that's all I have for you for now. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. Please subscribe. It really helps the channel. And again, thank you so much for all the love that you guys show me in the comment. It's really encouraging and it really helps me to continue and do videos. I'm wishing you a great day, great night, great evening, wherever you are. And God bless you so much. Bye for now. Hey, my friend, whether you're a day trader or hodler, I've got a game changer for you. BTCC Exchange, founded in 2011, is the world's longest running crypto platform with 0 hacks and licenses in many countries. No KYC or VPN needed, and signing up is fast. For whales or pro traders, it's a dream. Top 5 on CoinMarketCap, unmatched liquidity, low fees, but leverage and copy trading is risky, so only use what you can afford to lose, or seriously don't do it at all. I launched this channel to share crucial crypto insights, not to see you make reckless moves and lose your hard-earned money. BTCC has over 300 crypto available, including XRP, QNT, XLM, and HBAR. Use my referral link on the screen, in the description, or in the pinned comment for up to $10,000 USDT rewards, up to 50% off fees, and VIP perks. Never keep all your crypto on exchanges. Use reputable hardware wallets. Links below.